Today, we'll be trying everything in sight at DeKalb Market, Brooklyn's largest food hall with over 40 vendors, and it doesn't get the attention it deserves. We'll be eating our way around the world from Colombia to Jamaica and more. Here we go. What's up, members of the Barr? Coming to you from downtown Brooklyn, and today the goal is to showcase as many spots in DeKalb Market that we can. We're gonna eat a lot, and I'm bringing someone who's up to the task, my good friend and my favorite food critic in New York, Evan.
Honestly, I am so excited about this. I'd heard about this for a little while. Now that I'm in Brooklyn, time to eat.
There's 40 different stalls here, so we have way too many choices, but we're gonna do our best. You know what this reminds me of a lot, guys? Reading Terminal Market in Philly, but smaller.
We get to choose, or? Okay, perfect. All right, so we just picked up the barbecue pulled turkey, because where else are you gonna find pulled turkey at? Grab the braised kale, the vegan barbecue baked beans, and now we're gonna grab the coleslaw as well.
All right, one down, 4 to go. There's something for everybody in your group. So if one person wants arepas, one person wants pulled pork, whatever, you can find it.
Oh, I'm loving every single second of this.
Many is no skinny.
Well, one thing's for sure, skinny is not something that I do very well. That's when you start bringing the New York out of me. You know it's good when you start bringing the New York out of me.
I don't think now you know, I think now you don't.
Oh.
Tell you what, why don't we get some patties? That'll be good to split. Perfect. Yeah. This is our 5th spot. We're getting some Jamaican beef patties, and we might get more, I don't know. Guys, I'm literally not kidding. My biceps are sore from holding pounds of food waiting for this table. I have to say, I don't think I've ever quite done something like this for the channel, getting 5 different restaurants and eating them all at once. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be interesting. You know, of all the places that we got food from, Polky's was the one I was most curious about. Jewish barbecue. So instead of pork, we've got turkey. Let's see if something different can be good.
Well, cheers, sir.
Cheers. Okay.
It's interesting. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because I really like the sauce. And I wasn't expecting it to be as pork-like in terms of texture.
I was about to say the same thing. I said, if you didn't tell me that it was turkey, I may have actually thought it was pork. Literally, the barbecue sauce, I can't tell the difference. You?
No, and honestly, I like that there's like just a touch of vinegar in here just to give it a little acidity. So this way you get that nice tang to it on the back end, but like, it's just, this is unexpected, but unexpected in a very good way.
Yeah, we have a lot of different types of food to eat. I mean, this is like the true New York City experience. We're going from Jewish barbecue to Colombian food to Polish pierogies to donuts to Jamaican beef patties. We're going all over the world in one market. You know, it wouldn't be barbecue food if we didn't have some kinds of sides. So I have baked beans. You've got kale?
I got braised kale because, you know, you gotta be healthy with this kind of stuff, right?
Oh, real healthy today. All right, let's do it. Let's try it. Way better than I expected. Honestly, these beans are excellent. A lot of flavor, good barbecue flavor on this.
The kale is really surprising because you get a little bit of sweetness on the front end. The texture is there, so it's not like they overcooked it and it's just mushy. It's got a nice little bit of a bite left to it. It's got a little heat on the back end, so like it's that sweet, spicy. Like honestly, if I could figure out how to make this kale myself, I would crush this at home like literally every single day. And you can ask my roommate, he'll tell you, I like to cook, but I wish I knew how to cook this.
I hear from your roommate that you never actually cook, but...
I cook. It sounded like I set the house on fire today, but that's a whole other thing.
I just tried the Colombiana soda by accident. Never tried this before. It tastes like a cherry, maybe? Cherry flavor? I'm not sure. It's really unique. And I think that means we're about to move on to trying some of the Colombian food from the Arepa Lady. One of the great things about this market is you have some outposts from famous New York City
street food or famous restaurants. We've got Katz's, we've got the Arepa Lady. So you can actually try some pretty well-known New York City foods, just one place. And I remember I ordered Arepa de Choclo, which is, I think it's corn with cheese, and it was excellent. So I'm hoping for the same kind of experience here in Brooklyn.
This is the one place I really wanted to go, so let's go. So the cheese on the inside has like a really unique texture right now. It's a little more solid, it's a little more dense, which really complements this, where like you really feel like you're getting a complete meal whenever you eat into this. So I'm loving that the cheese is very mild while the cake is a little bit on the sweeter side. Like all in all, like this is something that I can just say, you know what, just shut it down. Like I'm good. You know, you guys can have the rest of the food. I'm just stealing all your arepas.
I mean, this is basically it on one fork. Cheese sandwich between corn dough. As good as I remember it in Queens, honestly. And this is gonna be pretty tough to top. I mean, it's a legendary place.
Oh, but we have so much more food to try.
We have so much more food to try too. I want to give a quick shout out to the members of my Patreon. We spent a good amount of money on all this food, and none of these vendors knew we were coming, so you guys helped me support these local businesses. If you're interested in joining our Patreon and seeing some of the perks that I offer, check out the link down below in the description. Thanks a lot, guys. This is downtown Brooklyn. This isn't the tourist hub that Chelsea is right next to the Highline, or Time Out New York Market is right next to the Brooklyn Bridge. Those markets always mobbed, especially when it's not COVID-19. You come here, I think you're gonna find the unexpected, a lot less people, and you can still get the same quality of food, and then you can explore downtown Brooklyn after as well.
And that's actually a really good point, because as you come straight off the Manhattan Bridge, you literally just keep walking straight down Flatbush Avenue. So if you want to tackle the Manhattan Bridge, which is something that as a local, I personally recommend, because again, it's really hard to see the Brooklyn Bridge when you're on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Now we're gonna try a spot called Pierogi Boys, and I was looking at the ratings online of most of the spots in here, and Pierogi Boys had some of the highest ratings in the entire market. Now, I've eaten at Veselka before. I've eaten at a little place called Streech in the East Village. I'm really picky about pierogies, so I'm excited to try this. Have you already eaten one while I was talking?
No, I was
like, no, go for it.
I was actually trying to get the meat out, and like honestly, like it literally punches you right in the face with the flavor. So like, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna let you get in there.
All right, let me try. It's in your face, all right, wow.
In a good way.
In a good way, like very flavorful, and you get a lot of meat too. That's what I think is so good about these pierogies. You're just like stuffed with meat. I think I know what was weighing down my arms so much. It was all the meat that was inside of this.
So check out the dill that's on here, and when you bring your nose close to that, you get that whiff of like the meat and the dill and everything together. Like, let me tell you this, I don't care what anybody's wearing. If you wore a perfume that was like this, I wouldn't be single anymore. I'd just be ready to propose marriage to the
first
first
notes,
person.
ladies. He's single.
So right now we have your traditional Jamaican beef patty, all right? It's absolutely perfect. So you're gonna have a really good time with this. Now, what you have on the outside is something called cocoa bread.
Okay, so you insisted that I get this with an extra bit of bread.
Yeah, so
why did you push me to get the cocoa bread on top? Not that I'm arguing, but
so the reason why is because growing up, I went to high school, and all of our people who were working in our cafeteria were always from the Caribbean. So I felt connected to my culture, and every time I got a beef patty and it didn't have the cocoa bread, they literally would yell at that, would yell at me. So once I started putting it on there, it's something that you just have to do. It's, in my opinion, a very mild bread, but it goes ahead and it actually fills out having the patty to make it more of a complete meal. Where like once you have a patty with some cocoa bread on it, you're gonna leave feeling like you're ready to tackle the day.
Or take a nap, one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, it is gonna be a little bit of a carbo overload, but trust me, carbo overloads are good in this situation.
What's carb overload?
Show it up. Show it up.
What's carb overload, guys? Check that out. Cocoa bread on top of a Jamaican beef patty. I've had beef patties before. Never had cocoa bread with it though.
Just get in there. Oh yeah, big bite.
It sneaks up on you because you eat the bread first, then you get the salty flavor explosion of the beef patty.
And it's got a little bit of a kick on the back end. It's not an overwhelming heat. It's just like something that's just nice to complement the flavor.
This is excellent. Last but certainly not least for the tasting is the mini donuts. We loved the owner of that spot. Evan, he's like your best friend now.
It was one where I had my credit card out and I was just ready to be like, you know what, I'll just take the entire stand. So like, now I'm curious to see what the normal varieties are like, just because if the alcohol was that good, let's see what he specializes in.
So I got the funnel cake, and I grew up in Jersey. This is a Jersey Shore specialty, so it got me excited. And what'd you get?
I got the Nutella s'more because, I mean, who doesn't love s'mores and who doesn't love Nutella? And then you put that on a donut. This sounds like heaven.
All right, let's do it. I could eat 100 of these things.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna go buy that stand up real quick.
I'm taking some to go. I'm taking some for Adriana. These are so, I just want to use the word perfect maybe, because you just take 2 bites, disappears. Just that beautiful sweet flavor.
This doesn't compare to it, but just to give your viewers, because I know they're from around the country and around the world, some frame of reference, it has the pillowy consistency of a Krispy Kreme with the flavor punch of your local donut shop, all in one small bite. Like this, to your point, is the absolute perfect donut, but the dough itself is flavored, the toppings are great. Like this is what you want when you start to have sweetness, where it's not overwhelmingly sweet, but it does leave you very satisfied.
And this, guys, is why he needs his own food channel. I couldn't say that. I'm just like, perfect.
Every other video, this reminds me of this food from the Philippines, right?
I know, right? But
if it doesn't,
this one doesn't really remind me of anything. So
okay.
It's funny because it reminds me of a food in the Philippines. They call it empanada.
Everything reminds Ben of something from the Philippines, we know.
You should probably Google something like empanada.
So how big of a nap are you going to take after all this? Like, I don't think dinner's happening, and breakfast tomorrow is looking questionable too.
Well, frankly, I have a chicken marinating in the fridge right now that it has to get cooked tonight. So I don't really have much of a choice but to have dinner as well. So.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button. Evan, thank you so much for joining me.
No worries. Thanks for the food, and I hope your viewers are able to enjoy the content.
I think you guys are going to enjoy it a lot. Definitely stop by DeKalb Market whenever you get the chance. Thank you so much for all your support. Till next time.